Good evening and thank you for joining us. We're learning new details tonight about the agreement to allow a crucial new bridge to open at the end of this month. The Gordie Howe International Bridge connects Windsor and Detroit, Canada's busiest trade corridor with the U.S. Canada had agreed to finance its construction, costing more than $6 billion. And in return, the Canadian government was supposed to recoup those costs through toll revenues. But as Sean O'Shea reports, it seems the Trump administration had other plans.
8 years after construction began, the Gordie Howe International Bridge will finally open to Canada-U.S. border travel on July 27th.
Well, it should be open. It shouldn't be sitting there unused.
A vital link between Windsor, Ontario and Detroit, Michigan, at a border key to Canada's economy.
Canada just scored a big win while the United States was left with little to celebrate. After paying to build the bridge, Canada finally got it ready to open, even after facing delays from the U.S. Now Canada looks stronger, while America is facing tough questions about what it really gained. On July 11th, 2026, Canada confirmed July 27th as the official opening date for the Gordie Howe International Bridge. The bridge cost more than $6 billion Canadian to build. Canada paid all of it. The Trump administration have blocked the opening for weeks, demanding a better financial arrangement before allowing the structure Canada funded, built, and staffed to begin processing traffic. Trump declared he had secured a much better deal for America. Canada got the opening date. And the bridge that handles a trade corridor moving approximately $100 million in goods every single day will finally open to traffic 16 days from now. The sequence of events that produced the July 11th announcement began on June 11th, 2026, when the Windsor-Detroit Bridge Authority posted a notice canceling the planned June 13th ribbon-cutting ceremony. Invitations had already gone out. Customs officers were staffed on both sides, and toll registration accounts were live. Prime Minister Mark Carney confirmed at a Toronto press conference the same day that the delay came at the request of the United States. The American request was not about safety. It was not about construction deficiency. It was about money specifically. The toll revenue arrangement that governed how the bridge's financial returns would be distributed between Canada and the United States. The original 2012 agreement between the Canadian federal government and then Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, a Republican, established that Canada would collect 100% of the bridge's toll revenues until its full construction investment was recovered. After that point, revenues would split equally between Canada and Michigan. Michigan received joint ownership of a $6 billion plus structure without contributing a dollar of upfront capital. Canada paid everything. Canada built everything. And Canada held the right to recover its investment before sharing revenue, a structure that reflected the fact that the Canadian taxpayer financed the project entirely because the Michigan legislature refused to contribute, due specifically to lobbying pressure from the Moran family, the billionaire owners of the competing privately owned Ambassador Bridge. What the Trump administration demanded during the weeks-long delay was a modification to that revenue structure before the bridge was permitted to open. The New York Times reported that the Moran family donated $1 million to a Trump-aligned political action committee, secured an in-person meeting with Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, and that Lutnick subsequently called Trump, after which Trump posted on Truth Social attacking the Gordie Howe project, a bridge he had publicly supported during his first term. The House Democrats formally opened an investigation into whether the sequence of donation, meeting, phone call, and policy reversal constituted an improper use of government authority to protect private commercial interests. The deal Canada agreed to on July 11th modifies the original revenue structure. For the first 15 years of the bridge's operation, Canada will receive 50% of net toll revenues. The other 50% will be directed into a regional economic development fund serving communities on both sides of the Detroit River. That arrangement represents a departure from the original agreement under which Canada held 100% of toll revenues until construction costs were fully recovered. A senior Canadian government source confirmed the 50% revenue split to CBC News as the core commercial term that secured the opening date. Trump described the outcome as a victory. "We got a much better deal than we had," he stated publicly following the July 11th announcement. The commercial arithmetic of the deal does not support that characterization in the way Trump framed it. Under the original 2012 agreement, Michigan would receive no toll revenue until Canada fully recovered its $6 billion plus construction investment, a timeline potentially spanning decades depending on traffic volumes and toll rates. Under the new arrangement, 50% of net toll revenues flow to a regional development fund immediately upon the bridge's opening, with no prerequisite that Canada first recover its full construction cost. Whether that represents a better deal for the American side depends entirely on whether Michigan or the regional fund collects the development allocation, and on how many years it would have taken under the original structure for Canada to recover its investment before Michigan's equal split kicked in. Housing and Infrastructure Minister Gregor Robertson called it a testament to what Canada can accomplish when we come together with a shared vision, noting the bridge will create opportunities and economic benefits on both sides of the border for generations to come. The commercial stakes of the July 27th opening are specific and documented. The Windsor-Detroit corridor handles approximately $126 billion in annual trade by surface freight, the largest bilateral surface freight corridor in North America. The bridge's 6 lanes, direct connection to Highway 401 on the Canadian side and Interstate 75 on the American side, and modern customs processing facilities with advanced cargo screening represent a capacity and efficiency upgrade over the Ambassador Bridge that commercial truckers have been waiting for since the project was first approved. The Ambassador Bridge opened in 1929 and now 97 years old operates 4 lanes through a privately owned toll structure, charging commercial trucks between $100 and $140 per crossing. The Gordie Howe's commercial toll rate is approximately $60 per crossing for a standard truck configuration. The specific commercial impact of that toll differential is projected in documented industry analysis. A University of Windsor study calculated that the Gordie Howe would save commercial truckers $2.3 billion over 30 years compared to continuing to use the Ambassador Bridge at current rates. Every day the Gordie Howe remained closed was a day that $2.3 billion in projected savings could not begin accumulating. From June 13th, the date of the original canceled ceremony, to July 27th, the delay spans 44 days, during which the Ambassador Bridge maintained its commercial monopoly on truck crossings between Windsor and Detroit, collecting tolls at rates the Gordie Howe would immediately undercut. The political positioning surrounding the July 11th announcement reflects a deliberate choice by both governments to describe the same outcome in incompatible terms. Trump called it a better deal for America. Canada called it an opening date, secured after Canada's main objective, getting the bridge open, was achieved. Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkens, who had consistently said Canada need not fall on bent knee to open the bridge, and that no deal was preferable to a bad deal, will see the crossing he has championed for years begin processing traffic on July 27th, with Canada holding 50% of toll revenues for 15 years and the Regional Development Fund absorbing the other half, rather than either of those shares going to the Maroon family's competing Ambassador Bridge. The Gordie Howe International Bridge has a confirmed opening date. The 853-meter main span, the longest cable-stayed bridge main span in North America, will carry its first vehicles on July 27th. 8 years of construction, $6 billion plus of Canadian public investment, a completed structure that passed every technical and operational test, custom staff ready on both sides, and a toll system already live, all of it comes into operation in 16 days. The delay that Canada's own Prime Minister described as coming at the request of the United States is over.